Alright, now a lot of my friends and family do ask me occasionally where I get my inspiration from to make these videos. Well, if I don't have an idea for myself, then quite often I look on the internet, places such as Etsy and Pinterest. As it happens, for this week's video, I found this on Pinterest. So I'm going to be making a sweet dispenser, or for America, candy dispenser. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for my attempt at the American pronunciation of candy. I know that it was very, very, very poor. Now the dimensions that I'm using, admittedly I got from Pinterest, as well as there was one image that showed the dispenser and the dimensions. I did have to convert the measurements into millimetres as they were in the ancient measurement form of inches. This is also the last of the Oroco that I have, but I still have enough scrap of it to hopefully use it on something else in the near future. Compared to my old table saw, I have to say that I really love my saw stop one. It's just a pleasure to use, and I really like the safety feature of when you turn it on, you have to wait for the red light to stop flashing before you can start the blade. I may have mentioned this before about it, but I've seen other videos where they recommend you change the blade to a third party blade, such as a Freud one, but believe me, the saw stop blade does a great job. And yes, to do the cuts, I made sure that the wood was lower than the maximum height of the blade, just to make it a bit safer. And yes, the push stick is on the way side, but that's because my thinnest push stick was still too wide to go near the fence. All I'm doing is just gluing up the piece that is the back of the dispenser. I needed to get this done as quick as possible in order to give it enough drying time. You can see here that I've marked out the rest of the components so that I knew where I was going to cut it on the bandsaw. Doing this also helped to visualise how it was going to look when it was all finished. I could have made the wheel bigger, but I think it was fine how it was. I started with trimming the excess off the bottom of the piece on the miter saw, then onto the bandsaw. Now I couldn't cut all of the excess out straight away, as I need to go over to the drill press to cut out the wheel using the hole saw bit. Obviously I couldn't use a forcing bit, as there would be no wheel there once it was finished. Once that was done, then back to the bandsaw to cut the rest of the excess out, which left me with the two sides. I needed to make a gap on the wheel so that it could collect the sweets. So I started with a drill press, then I tried using a chisel, but it was creating tear out, so I just quickly used the bandsaw to trim it down. I decided just to hand sand the components, concentrating mostly on any internal parts as I wouldn't be able to do them once I had it all glued together. I just used an 80 and 120 grit on this. When it came to the gluing, I wanted to use my new Bessie ratchet clamps and some Makita ones that I have. Both sets are actually meant to be used with a track saw. Knowing that, I used a small piece of wood underneath so that the back of the dispenser didn't get marked. Then I just had to add a few extra clamps. For the front, I used some Perspex, which is otherwise known as acrylic. I believe that it's about 2mm thick, and it's generally what I use when I make photo frames. Keep watching to the end when I discuss the pros and cons of using it. It is very easy to cut on the bandsaw, and I would have cut it on the table saw, but I had a concern that it might have set off the safety function on the blade. The finish I'm applying is just the cutting board oil that I've used many times. There'll be an affiliate link in the description below, but it does really make it look so damn good. And there we are, another project finished, and I've got to say I'm really pleased with this one. Now, I did mention earlier in the video as well though that there were some pros and cons with using this Perspex, and if you can see here, when cutting it, it gets a bit jagged. So normally when I'm using that on photo frames, that is actually hidden within the rebate. Now this Perspex is about 2mm thick. If I was to make more of these to sell them, I think I will probably go for 4mm, maybe even 5mm. That would definitely give it some strength and protection. And I've also been asked about, if I was going to sell these, how much would I sell it for. Now this one is made out of Iroko, and I think I would easily put a price on of £50, especially if I change the perspex. Even though I've just used a normal dowel for this, I will probably just get another bit of scrap like this and make more of a handle to turn it a lot easier, but I'm pretty sure that will do for now. And if you've enjoyed this video, then the algorithm is suggesting that you watch this one next. The algorithm knows best. And until the next time, gang Candyman.